One, and we're live. Yes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm practicing my Sammy Davis Jr. Voice this morning. I've got to do a little Sammy Davis Jr. in just a second. We can get that going. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We're back on YouTube live this morning. FYN TV, Fetch Your News, YouTube is back live. They agreed to our terms and conditions because they said we did not meet their terms and conditions. So we just sent them a letter and said, here's ours, and they put us back live. We disputed their claim of our content being offensive. Maybe that's not what they said exactly. Maybe that's not exactly what happened. That reminds me of that meeting where Trump and Dick Durbin, little Dicky, were in the room and nobody can figure out really what happened. That's what it reminds me. Anyhow, you know, whoa. What kind of candy do you want, folks? That's our top story from the Washington Post. Everything else going on, we have to find out the candy. Who can take the sunshine? Sprinkle it with dew. Cover it with chocolate and a miracle or two. The Candyman, oh yeah, oh the Candyman can. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Yes, baby. Rainbow, wrap it in a sigh. That's Sammy Davis Jr. Is this racist? So, 'cause I'm white. The Candyman, the Candyman. You remember when Sammy Davis Jr. got that big kiss from Archie Bunker? He made man care 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Folks, in a top story today, we are trying to figure out what kind of starburst does Donald Trump like? What is his favorite? So we have the Starburst Challenge. So put the there it is. That is the top news for MSNBC and Kevin McCarthy and the Starburst Challenge today. Trump, he likes Starburst. Breaking news. Now, here's the thing that proves he's racist. He only likes certain colors. Yes, MSNBC, all the liberal, they're getting day two out of Trump being a racist. I know you're watching it. CNN, don't change the picture yet, Sam. Stay with it. Try to stay focused. Rose, are you there? Rose knocked my ass out of a chair yesterday in a meeting. I'm going to tell you that story later.
Do not tell people that.
She did.
No,
boom.
she did.
I have pictures. We're having a meeting. There's 4 of us. Next thing you know, I'm knocked in the floor. Who's sitting next to me? Rose. She's smiling, taking pictures. I don't know what happened. We may get the truth out of that meeting. Nobody can get the damn truth out of any meeting anymore. Nobody. David Perdue's lying. Durbin's lying. Trump's lying. Tom Cotton. I'm just trying to keep in sync with people not being able to get the truth. I'm going to play the role of David Perdue. I'm going with Trump. Rose knocked my ass out of a chair. Okay?
Okay, fine.
You're going with the role of Dick Durbin, and you're saying she didn't do it. That's how it's going, folks. Okay, so day 2, I have pictures. See, Rose won't even chime in. I don't even get a thumbs up or none. She's hiding behind all the monitors because she knows that we can show the evidence of me laid out on the floor and her behind the camera. Hey, good morning, Rose. How are you? Good? Can I get a thumbs up? Use the thumb, please. That's the only finger I want to see.
I was the one behind the camera because I wanted to make sure I had evidence of the fact that you fell out of a chair yesterday.
Okay. Anyhow, folks, the controversy is the Trump starburst, but we have found out that Trump likes starburst of certain colors, okay? It's breaking news probably on CNN, and this is probably ties to the reason we know Trump is a racist. Now, Trump had to yell he's not a racist, but the media is really digging deep into this because there's no other breaking stories out there that we could talk about where DACA is concerned. So what are Trump's favorite colors? Okay, what do we have here? Break it to him, Sam. Trump, what is he like?
I assume pink and red because those are everybody's two favorites.
Where's the picture?
Oh gosh, Starburst.
Oh my God! I tried, folks.
That's
I tried.
all the colors. That doesn't tell them what colors are his favorite.
I sent you Trump pink and red.
No.
You don't have a picture that says pink and Trump, red and pink?
No. That's the only picture I have with Starburst and Trump. Oh, I lied. Yes, I do.
Oh, did the people hear you say that? Did the people or just me? Because, folks, I have a piece of my...
The people heard it.
The people heard you come... All right, thank you. Thank you. There's the red and pink right there. It's come down to Trump likes red and pink. Now, here's the big deal, okay? Trump and his boy, Kevin McCarthy, all right? I'm going to get on to some real stuff today, all right? Real stuff. But here it is, okay? Kevin McCarthy relishes role as Trump's fixer, friend, and Candyman, okay? Put the picture of Trump and McCarthy up. President Trump and Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy were alone in the presidential suite on Air Force One, flying east towards Washington in October when President reached for a handful of Starburst. Now, the Washington Post has taken up time to put this in print. You remember, all presidents like something, okay? Ronald Reagan liked jelly beans, right? Okay? Bill Clinton liked Monica Lewinsky, all right? Hey, Trump likes Starburst, only certain colors. So they put this in print. We're alone in the presidential suite in Air Force One, flying east to west in Washington, October, when President reached for a handful of Starburst. These square-shaped candy fruits, if you didn't know what Starburst... See, the Washington Post needs to let, maybe the people out in the Hamptons that don't know how to unwrap... They've never unwrapped their own damn Starburst in the world. I mean, if you can't drive an unwrapped Starburst, okay, I'm just saying, all right? So they have their maids or their people. You remember when George Costanza ate a Snickers bar with a fork and knife? You remember? So they're explaining to you these squarely shaped candy fruit chews, okay? For some of those out there. But instead of unwrapping all the treats, the president was careful to pluck out and eat two flavors, cherry and strawberry. McCarthy took notice. I noticed that, Mr. President. So, were there... So, I'm serious. This is serious. This is a Washington Post story. This is something that CNN is doing a story on. This is something that MSNBC is talking about, okay? Because the DACA deal was done until the Candyman, McCarthy, and David Perdue. The media wants you to believe that Trump was ready to cut the deal with Lindsey Graham and Dicky Durbin all by himself. And they said, oh my God, he's alone with the two of them. Rush in. So here is you remember Kelly's the chief of staff. You remember Kelly was going to bring calm and he was going to bring calm to the West Wing. He was going to bring calm to the Oval Office, to the administration. He was going to be the voice of reason. But now we find out, according to the left, that this deal between Dicky Durbin and Lindsey Graham were going down, and Kelly rushed out and said, whoa, Wilbur, hold on. And he said, hey, I need to get Perdue in here. I need to get Cotton in here. I need to get the Candyman somewhere around the Oval Office. I need to get some people pushed into this meeting because Trump's about to cut a deal with Graham and Dicky Durbin. So they rushed right in and saved the day from Trump making this terrible mistake on DACA. In a nick of time, just in a nick of time, they got there. Trump was ready to give it all away. I don't think so, folks. But Chief of Staff John Kelly, okay, is no liberal when it comes to immigration. He knows it firsthand. He knows the border, all right? General John Kelly. Anyhow, but instead unwrapped all the treats, the president carefully plucked out two, cherry and strawberry. McCarthy noticed where they're having a little dessert, and he offered me some. McCarthy recalled in an interview, just red and pink. A bit later, a couple of his aides saw him with those colors and told me those are the president's favorite. Days later, the number 2 Republican in the House, Kevin McCarthy, the Candyman, known for his relentless cultivation of political alliances, brought a plentiful supply of Starburst and asked the staffers to sort through the pile. Now, if Hillary Clinton would have brought in a stack of checks worldwide and asked the staffers to lie and funnel them into accounts that nobody could ever find or trace, if Hillary Clinton would have brought into the State Department 8 cell phones and smashed them into the forbidden zone, if Hillary Clinton would have just never asked any of her staffers to do anything wrong. But this is where they're saying he took your tax money to have people sort Starburst. We're having a little dessert. Later, he relentlessly cultivating political alliances brought a plentiful supply of Starburst and asked the staffers to sort through the pile, placing only those 2 flavors in a jar. McCarthy made sure his name was on the side of the gift, which he delivered to the grinning Trump, according to White House officials. So McCarthy did a little kiss ass, okay? Not just saying. McCarthy did a little kiss ass, and he got the red and pinks, and he stuck them over to the president, and the president smiled. Okay. Now, the reason I led with that, and let me tell you why I led with that. Take McCarthy down, and let me tell you why I led with that. Because, folks, there's a whole list of things that they try to mask over what's really happening in this country. I just thought to myself when I started hearing CNN, and by the way, today I'm not going to say as many. I'm going to make an attempt not to say as many bad words. I mean, Lindsey Graham just said it's getting pretty bad when we have to rush to get our kids away from the TV watching the news. They rush them away from the TV to watch the news now because of the foul language. All right. This is a little thing on the Chicks on the Right. I don't know if you ever read Chicks on the Right. I know we're not supposed to say that, right? But it's a website called Chicks on the Right. MSM is outraged that President Trump has 2 favorite Starburst flavors. I'm going to tell you right now, they see him as a racist, and now the colors are, his true colors are coming out. So that being said, let me explain something. MSNBC or CNN, I think I read a report yesterday. CNN said that 138 uses, they use the words S-H-I-T 138 times in broadcast yesterday. 138 is what the count is. The argument is still on day 2 on whether 138 times it was S-H-I-T house or S-H-I-T hole. The foul language in the meeting is what's being brought up. Now let me say something. I'm going to, you better hold on, because I'm about to break the bubble that you live in. There's all kinds of committees, okay? There's all kinds of committees. And there's all kinds of caucus meetings. And there's all kinds of every day, that's all it's full of. In the State House in Georgia, all these meetings are going on. So let's say there's 10 people in 50 meetings up there now. I want to break your bubble and let you know within those meetings, some people are using some pretty rough language, okay? And it's not the President of the United States. There's meetings going on between congressmen. There's a couple foul-mouthed female congressional leaders up there, all right? There's meetings going on all day long, and there's a little bad language. I'm sorry, I did not want to bring that to you. I know the media is shocked and taken back that there may have been some foul language, okay? I think the media is shocked and taken back and has not read the accounts. I don't think Reagan wasn't a foul mouth. Okay, he wasn't a foul. Nixon was a foul mouth, very foul mouth. Clinton has a foul mouth. Okay, Johnson, foul mouth. All right. The list goes on. George W. could say some pretty salty words, all right, if that's what you want to use. So the media has been outraged for 2 days because they had to hear something. This is the same people that do not know what Starburst, these square, fruity flavored treats, that do not know what a SHIT house is, or they lead you to believe. But those meetings are going on. So I didn't mean to burst your bubble this morning that there's actually foul language taking place. Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We've got a lot to go through. Let's tell people how to find the show. 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700, and also chief at FetcherNews.com. And you can follow us on Twitter at Fetcher News, at FYNTV. Find our Facebook page like that. Now, I understand, I do know, I did see Gilmer in Fannin County, a 3-hour early release today on schools. So I don't know about the other counties. I'm trying to pay attention to those right now. But pay attention to a lot of the counties because we are expecting a wintry mix, okay, in the North Georgia area this afternoon about 4 o'clock. Some people are estimating a wintry mix, inch of snow or ice or sleet or whatever in the lower elevations, up to 3 or more in higher elevations. So we are expecting a winter storm watch with very cold temperatures here this afternoon. So check out, I do know Gilmer and Fanning is releasing 3 hours early today. What else? Why? I'm going to talk about this at around 9 o'clock. Why was there a dangerous gang member, a dangerous cartel Mexican gang member affiliated with, maybe not from there? Why is that gang member in Fannin County? Why? Passing through when he got stopped. We're going to talk about that a little later. Okay? Here's another one. I want you to look at this map because I want to talk to you about something. And there's a reason why I did the little segment on the fruit chews to open the show. Because this is what they feel is important. And then they're going to pull on your heartstrings to tell you about this. We're going to talk about the poor guy in Detroit. They're ripping people away from their families. DACA, we need a clean deal. That's what we're talking about. But how about put up the HQ2. Okay, this is HQ2. I think that's what I named it. Okay. And what this is, and we're going to talk about this later in the show. I want you to pay attention, okay? All right. Amazon is looking to build a second world headquarters, okay? A second world headquarters. It's called HQ2. Pay attention out there. Now, the far left, and don't misunderstand, I'm saying it the exact way, no pun intended. The far left dot up there in Seattle, if you can see on your screen, is orange, dark orange, almost like a reddish orange, very dark, because that's Seattle, okay? So the people that are working in HQ1 for Amazon, that is the Amazon headquarters. So they're sitting up there drinking their lattes, got a little cinnamon on the frost on the coffee. They're drinking coffee. They got their umbrellas because it's raining in Seattle, whatever the hell, okay? So they're smoking some weed. I don't know what all they're doing. But keep in mind, that's the headquarters. That's HQ1. So you have all of the other areas are in contention for what's being called HQ2. Atlanta. Okay? Because we're going to zero in at 9 o'clock on Atlanta. And Atlanta is fast-paced, and the governor is on board. And I don't know the alleged Republican governor. He alleges to be a Republican, okay? Nathan Deal. You know what? I hope. Oh, God, I can see me getting in trouble. Why am I doing this? Why do I do this? Because I know it's coming. I hope the next governor of Georgia is really a Republican conservative. That's my wish. Okay, that's what I want. That's what I want. All right, early Christmas president, a governor that is actually a Republican conservative. So allegedly, the Republican governor, Nathan Deal, is doing everything he can to land HQ2. Okay? HQ2. This is a big story I'm going to bring to you. It's not Starburst, folks. You need to pay attention to what's really happening, not just in Georgia. If you're in Nebraska, Texas, Oklahoma, if you're out there on the wagon trail somewhere out west, you need to pay attention to this. Atlanta, I'm going to tell you what's going on. So he's working hard. We're going to talk about that story a little later in the show. All right. Here is the. Did I send you? I didn't send you the. So Trump has a new name. Put up Dick Durbin. Okay, because we know Dicky Durbin could not lie. All right. So Trump sends out a tweet and he says, Senator Dicky Durbin, he's now Dicky, okay? Dicky Durbin totally misrepresented what was said at the DACA meeting. Deals can't get made when there's no trust. Durbin blew DACA and is hurting our military. I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, I want to know from you. Here's what I want to know from you, okay? Is DACA a deal breaker for the budget? Now, let me say this. Let's say this, okay? Let's say this, okay? Now, DACA, which before I come back, okay, DACA, which I had it here just a minute ago. Let's remember what that acronym is for. Consideration of it's deferred action for childhood arrivals. Okay? So, let's say government shutdown. There's two questions I want to know from you. The Democrats are saying now, since Trump is such a racist, and they proved it in this meeting by Dick Durbin, that's what they allege, that the only way Trump, now Chucky Schumer comes out and says the only way Trump can prove to the American people he's not a racist, okay, is if he will pass a clean DACA bill. Now, what they want to talk to you about is a clean DACA bill. Just let's take care of the kids. Let's just get that away, because God knows who could go against the kids. So do you agree with the clean DACA bill? What about shutting the government down? If the government shuts down, I think tomorrow they run out of money. If the government shuts down, who will get the blame? Democrats, Republicans, or President Donald Trump? I'm going to tell you both of my opinions on these as soon as we return. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. And guess what? There's a contender. There is someone that has announced to run for office in Fannin County. We're going to talk about that. I was over in White County last night. White County, Cleveland, Georgia. True at McConnell College. I go everywhere. Take us to break.
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Better days ahead. 'Tis the season of huge year-end discounts at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Every 2017 and 2018 Chevy is discounted deep right now. Like $5,000 off Equinox LT from $26,750, or a whopping $10,000 off new Silverado Crew Cabs from $33,695. Unwrap huge holiday savings on every Chevy at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we make the holidays bright.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Kenty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Fine sterling silver, luxurious baby alpaca and exotic woods. A beautiful selection of exquisitely crafted gifts for all of your special occasions. Visit our website, artesiansilvergifts.com, or follow us on Twitter at Artesian Silver Gifts. Kenty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop in downtown Blue Ridge.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Wrap it in a sigh. Are we live? Soak it in the sun and make a groovy lemon pie. The Candyman, the Candyman. Oh, the Candyman can. That's that Donald J. Trump, man. The man can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. You remember Donald Trump said that he wanted the DACA bill to be a bill of love. Remember, a bill of love. We want it to be a bill of love. Wow. Beneath the dishes. Yes, that Donald Trump's the Candyman. He's giving out tax breaks. He's giving out tax breaks. He is cutting regulations. He is giving the military the biggest raise in 8 years. The Candyman. I'm going to write that for Donald. The Candyman can. The Candyman can, 'cause he writes a DACA bill and mixes it with love. I got to stop. I'm going to write this song for Donald J. Trump. I am. Who's giving out tax breaks? How in the world are all these corporations, so many, giving $1,000 bonuses? The military has received the largest pay increase in 8 years. Here you go. No, wait, I'm your host, BKP. I'm going somewhere with this, okay? In 2018, military pay raise is the biggest in 8 years. It is what, 2.4%. Congressional lawmakers are boasting that the recent passed fiscal 28 defense authorization bill has the largest pay raise for troops in the past 8 years. But that has less to do with newfound generosity among lawmakers and more to do with the expected raise, okay, including, let's see, Donald J. Trump included in a massive budget bill finalized by the Senate November 16th and expected to be signed into law by President Donald Trump in coming days is a 2.4% pay raise for service members starting January 1st. Okay, this bill was November 20th last year. They don't talk about this. Okay, the military, all right, has not seen this kind of pay raise in 8 years. I know I keep going on and on about that. So let me tell you what. I'm going to answer my first question. All right. Donald J. Trump is the first that can let the government shut down. And the media, no matter how much they try, cannot pin it on him. He will not get the blame. Okay? He will not get the blame. America will let the president shut the country down. Now, don't get nervous. But here is the DACA, all right? Sam, now this is a 2-minute video, folks. And I really think it's worth the video because I think it's worth you watching to see the heartstrings. And I'm going to go somewhere with this, okay? This is what the heartstrings. Tearing families apart. You keep hearing about that. So the media rushes up in Detroit, MSNBC, CNN, they're all covering this. All the left is covering this. They rush up to Detroit yesterday to do this story about this poor guy that's being ripped from his family. And this is why we need to do something. This is not a... Mike Barnacle said, and what the hell is a barnacle? Barnacle says this morning on MSNBC, this is not America. Play that video. It's worth the worth. Stay with it. Play with it.
Family torn apart after a man living here in Michigan for nearly 30 years is deported. It's a story trending all over social media tonight and making national headlines. 7 Action News reporter Brianne Palmerini standing by live with their emotional story tonight. Brianne?
Well, Stephen, Jorge Garcia had been living in the United States since he was 10 years old, and he was 39 years old today when he was deported. He was just 1 year too young to be qualified under DACA. He has a wife and 2 kids. They are both U.S. citizens, and he has been working for the last decade to become a citizen. This is video from this morning as ICE agents made sure Garcia boarded a plane to Mexico. His family gathered around him with tears and hugs, supporters holding signs saying, "Stop separating families." Jorge's wife Cindy says the moment didn't feel real until the ICE agents stepped up to take him.
That's when the tears just started flowing because we knew that that was going to be it. There wasn't much more that we could do.
Garcia's wife Cindy says for the last 13 years, Jorge has been checking in with ICE and working on finding a path to citizenship.
In total, we have given immigration over $125,000.
She says their family got some bad legal advice, it set them back, and they've continued to check in and apply for extensions to find that path.
We've never done anything without permission from immigration because anytime you leave the city, you have to tell them where you are going.
But this last time the family checked in, immigration agents told the Garcia family he would have to leave on January 15th. His wife Cindy says Jorge has no criminal record, not even a traffic ticket. His family is devastated. He's leaving behind a 12-year-old son, Jorge Jr., and 15-year-old daughter, Soleil.
It's a nightmare. They're sad, they're depressed. They don't really comprehend everything that's going on. All they know is that their dad is gone and they don't know when they're going to see him again.
Jorge is now in Mexico City. His wife says she's working to bring him back to the United States, but it could be 18 months before he even gets a hearing at the consulate. Now, our newsroom did contact the local immigration office, and agents there said they couldn't comment on this case tonight. Live in Southfield, Brianne Palmerini, 7 Action News.
A lot of families hoping there's going to be some sort of solution soon.
Yeah, we'll keep track on this, Brianne. Thank you for the report on that.
Living in fear, folks, living in fear. Now, that is what they are rushing to bring you, living in fear. There needs to be, they're screaming, we need a new DACA deal now. Now, Jorge is 10 years old when he comes here, and he is not able to apply for DACA because he just missed the cutoff, okay? He just missed the cutoff. That is what they are trying to give you. They run to the colleges, and they find the kids in college, okay? They find the kids in college. They run there. They run to the airport, and we're ripping people from their families. Now, why is Dad? Because I'm going to explain this, and you better pay attention. Why is this video so powerful? Because the truth in that meeting the other day is what they want, what Dick Durbin wants. I told you, put up David Perdue and Tom Cotton, okay? Now, they came out and defend the president for this reason. They're being called liars today. Now, I do not know how you could elevate David Perdue and Tom Cotton, especially, this is the guy to the right. Tom Cotton is former military. Don't know all the background, but I remember Tom Cotton, former military. David Perdue to the left, a very successful businessman, Dollar General, a very successful businessman in his life. But the character of these two guys are head and shoulders above the guy that stood one day and called your military men and women Nazis. All right, that was Dick Durbin. Remember that? Nazis, equal to Nazis, okay? Don't forget that, folks. All right, the military knows that. There's a couple things the military, they don't come out with strong comments, but they know. All right, they'll never forget who Jane Fonda is, okay? It doesn't matter how many surgeries Jane Fonda has had, no matter how she fixes her hair. Vietnam vets will never forget, and the military will never forget who Jane Fonda is. The military knows Dick Durbin is not the one that advocated for their first pay raise in 8 years, okay? They know Dick Durbin's the one that came out of the meeting and equated them to Nazis, okay? So anyhow, David Perdue and Tom Cotton basically come out, and they did not lie. Basically what they're saying, and I'm paraphrasing, is, you know what, this was a meeting that had very good substance, that was on target, and there was really nothing being said that normally doesn't get said in a meeting, okay? And you're saying, oh, they normally call Haiti and Africa, bad words or whatever. No. Here's what these two guys are trying to save us from. Here's what Kevin McCarthy is trying, and I mean save us from, okay? And this is ripping families apart. I told you, put Dick Durbin up. I got to move on from this, but I got to be clear one more day, because they're playing the race card and the SHIT card over and over and over. What I got to remind you of is now the media is coming out and supporting the Joe Scarboroughs and Minka and CNN. They're all coming out and supporting and saying, we just have to have a clean DACA deal. Nothing else will work. Nothing else will prove that Trump's not a racist if it's not a clean DACA deal. Let me explain the Detroit video with Dad being ripped and living apart, living in fear, and Dad being ripped away from his family. They do not want, okay, stay with me, they do not want to make a deal for the children. They want to make a deal for the children and their parents. Don't forget that. This is not a clean DACA deal. That's what they're calling it. You see, I told you yesterday, if mom and dad cross the border, and don't think that the mom and dad that crossed the border do not know they broke the law, because they were instructed on the proper areas to go, or the best areas to go along our southern border to enter, not being noticed. They knew when to run. They knew when to hide. They knew when to do it at dark. They knew when to run as a group. They knew all of this. Mom and Dad knew they were breaking the law. Just like when you walk in and you steal something, do something, if you're going up up 5:15, maybe some of you ladies should listen. I know one or two of you might do it. If you're going up 5:15 at 85 mile an hour, you know it's 55 or 65. You know that when you're going up there. These people knew they were breaking the law. So they got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. So they're in the back seat of the car. I know you don't like the way I put this because there's some of you out there that does not want to have any compassion at all about any of it. And I'm good with that. That doesn't upset me. Speed limit's 55. You're going up there 90 mile an hour. You're endangering the kids. They're in the back seat. All right? And guess what? You get pulled over and the officer does not give the 3 kids in the back a ticket. He gives you a ticket. You're the one that broke the law. Whatever. The kids aren't driving. Now, I know the argument, but they broke the law. I know the argument. But let's stay focused, all right? But the Democrats do not want to do any kind of deal for the 2-year-old, 4-year-old, and 6-year-old that's now adults. They don't want a clean DACA deal. They want mom and dad. They want the people that were speeding. They want the people that actually broke the law to get a free green card into this country. That's what they want. The second thing, Rand Paul. Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky. I got so much to go over, but I got to put this back into perspective. Senator Rand Paul, let's say we bring 1 million immigrants legally into this country a year. Let's say that's what we have, 1 million. Senator Rand Paul says, okay, I will compromise on a DACA deal, not for the mom and dad, for the 3 kids that were in the back seat when they were caught speeding. I'll compromise on a deal for them, the 2-year-old, 4-year-old, and 6-year-old. But here's what I'm doing, not mom and dad, but here's what I'm doing. There's 800,000 dreamers, or DACA, I don't like to call them dreamers, there's 800,000. We'll take 200,000 a year and apply those to the million. Oh, no. We want our million plus the 200,000. They're voters. So don't fall for them saying a clean DACA deal, and that's why they're playing Jorge got ripped from his family, is because that's what those mean Republicans and Donald Trump want to do, is rip the mom and dad from the family. Now, the other thing I want to be clear on, notice how the media frames it. Now, I'm going to put up a picture, see if you remember this, okay? And I don't know all the details, so don't yell at me about I did not get the facts correct. But put up Michael Brown. Remember this? There's Michael, right? Why, the only picture the media seemed to be able to find of this thug, okay? This thug that was smoking a blunt or whatever, or stealing cigars so they can plug them out and put marijuana in them, right? The only picture the media was able to find is Michael's graduation picture. Remember, they wanted to present us the Michael, the community, the kid that went to high school, that graduated, that was everybody's friend. They did not put up the picture of the thug that went in the convenience store. They did not put up the picture of the thug that went after the police officer. This seemed to be the only one they can find. And the only reason I did this is because the media, they lie so bad. The only pictures they find of the DACA kids are the kids in the college. And Jorge, the hard worker that paid his taxes for things. That's the only ones they seem to be able to find. Is those kids that they are top of the class. That's all they can find. Out of the 800, you do a search, because we don't have time, you do a search of out of the 800,000 or 700,000, how many that are in the deferred action for these children, how many are gang members, drug dealers, how many are living off the system? Go look up all of these. The media wants you to believe that these are the 700,000 best that we could ever bring into this country. And that's why we need a clean deal, because these are just poor children that will be ripped away from mom and dad, and mom and dad will be sent home. And I don't know how Jorge is, but he's in Mexico City. Okay, I'm for sure he can find a job there because we shipped all of our damn jobs down there. So I'm for sure Jorge could get a job maybe easier in Mexico City than he could have in Detroit. I don't know. Just pay attention, folks, okay? Really quick, I want to go through something here. Let me show you a couple pictures. Put up Erick Erickson's quote, and I just want to say this out loud. Erick Erickson, shut up. We know you don't like Donald Trump. You don't like anything about Donald Trump. Anytime you can say anything. Erick Erickson, it's weird that the people in the room don't remember Trump using the word when Trump himself was calling out friends to brag about it afterward. I spoke to one of those friends. President throughout it play well with his base. Okay, so leave that. Erick Erickson, I hope on your show you're actually discussing what I did and the meat of what's going on in these meetings and why we don't have a DACA deal and why we don't have an immigration deal because of the Democrats. I wish you would do that and lying Dick Durbin. But I don't think that your tweet helps anything further. That's all I'm saying. Shut up, Erick. All right, I want to get that out. I just wanted to tell Erick to shut up. What's the other one I have here? We've looked at lying Dick Durbin. Cotton and Perdue. Did you put those pictures up? We've had those pictures up. Tom Cotton and David Perdue. I think that's about it. All right. Do you think, all right, a shutdown. First of all, we cannot have a DACA deal, okay, without the four pillars or the pillars of immigration that, Chief of Staff John Kelly, Tom Cotton, McCarthy, Rand Paul, David Perdue. We can't have it without chain migration stopping, okay? Every aunt and uncle, the DACA deal, what they want is every aunt and uncle included, every friend, every cousin, okay? It's worse than a cell phone plan. You know the cell phone plan that you go and you get family and friend cell phone plan? That's what they want on the DACA deal. No joke, okay? They want DACA to be the family and friend plan, okay? That everybody gets attached to it. So no chain migration. The lottery system is revamped, totally revamped. I don't have time to go into that, but you should look up what the immigration lottery system is, okay? No connection for mom and dad to the Dreamers, all right? And Rand Paul, I think very strong money for our southern border. We don't have time to go into the southern border, but I will tell you this, okay? Put up that gang member, and we'll do this in a minute. Now, I don't know if this gentleman, why did I call him a gentleman? I don't know if this thug is from Mexico. But I know what this thug was. He was in Fannin County the other day. Now, he was being held, and we got the story. We're going to go over that. He's being held in Fannin County to transfer for transport to Beaufort, where he has warrants there. But this guy is a member, unmistakably, not alleged, because these gangs, and I'm going to tell you what gang it is, the most dangerous gang, cartel in Mexico, tied to a gang in Texas, you have to have certain markings. You have to have one marking that says you killed somebody in prison. Now, I understand, this is my understanding, we'll go through the story, that the only way to get in this gang and actually become a member is to prove you did kill somebody. I swear to God. I'm serious, okay? We did the research. We got the story. Fannin County. Fannin County. No, not Atlanta. No, not New York City. No, not rural America. Fannin County, folks. Wake up. You need to call your sheriff in Fannin County, your sheriff in Gilmer County, your sheriff in Pickens, your sheriff in Union. You need to call the city policeman. You need to call Johnny. You need to call everybody and ask, do you know this guy is here? Are there more? What business does this guy have in Fannin County? Just saying. I'm your host. We're going to talk more about. We have to have border funding for the wall and secure the border. We got to stop this, folks. I'm your host, BKP. I want to talk about what nobody's paying attention to. That's bigger. I think it's one of the biggest stories there is. I'm your host, BKP. Take us to break, Sam.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. If you'd like to reach the show, 706-889-9700. It's always available there. Chief@FetcherNews.com. Follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews, @FYNTV. Also, go to our Facebook, like our Facebook page, Fetcher News. YouTube channel, FYNTV, Fetcher News. Okay, I want to answer. First of all, I have had a request at the end of the show. So, folks, you're going to want to stay from the sound room in there, the production room, the people in charge. Yes, I'm rubbing my head on camera. I've had a request that at the end of the show, somebody wants to do something. And I have, I said yes. So you're going to want to stay because we'll both find out at the same time what this person wants to do. Anyhow, shutting down the government, who gets the blame? First of all, I will make this short because I want to get into what I call my biggest story. This is a story you're not going to hear on Rush today, okay? Love El Rushbo, as we call him. Love the guy. Usually my show is his show prep. I know he listens to the show, and he gets most of his material from me. Just joking. Don't get all bent out of shape, all right? But this is a story I'm about to do, even if you're on the wagon trail out west, okay? Pull the ponies over. Roy Moore, pull trigger in, rope him around, go in the saloon, because this is a story you want to hear in America, because I'm telling you, you want to pay attention. Who will get the blame for shutting the government down? Now, we are always told, and I'm going to just do this in 2 minutes, okay? We are always told, Americans, that we don't understand. We don't know what would really happen. When 9/11 hit and we were attacked, we put all of these things in place to secure you and I, because you and I don't know what would really happen if we knew the true fears out there, okay? What we were up against. We just don't know. We just need to trust them. We don't know what really could happen. So we gave away so much of our freedom, for what we traded as what the government sold us on security. Okay? The list goes on and on. If we let the auto manufacturers go bankrupt, you and I don't know what would really happen. We don't know. We can't trust that there'd be another Henry Ford or Edsel. We can't trust that there would be another Lee Iacocca to invent the Mustang. We can't trust that there'd be another John DeLorean to invent the GTO, Pontiac division. We can't trust that ingenuity in America, that somebody would buy one of the empty car manufacturing plants and produce an automobile for you and I to drive. We just did not know what we were up against if they went broke. So we thanked, and I say this facetiously, arrogantly, we thanked the government for saving us from that catastrophe and not letting the auto manufacturers go broke. Because we didn't understand. That's what we always get told by the government, okay? Now we get up to the big deal on the TARP. Trouble Assets Recovery Plan or whatever. Anyhow, TARP. And we have Lehman Brothers going bankrupt. Okay? Bear Stearns going bankrupt. And we had to come out, we call him King Henry Pawson, the Treasury Secretary at George W. We had to come out and we had to put $800 billion into this economy for the banks. Because you and I just did not know how bad it would be. We did not know what would happen. We need to thank the government for saving us from what really could go on. Little did we know. And you and I, America, cannot be trusted with knowing what would happen. See, we've always had the government to safeguard us from what would happen because you and I don't know. Okay? Fine. All right? They manipulate us, the mind control. Don't want to go down that road right now, right? Every time there's a government threat of a shutdown, you and I just don't know what that would cause. Guess what? The economy, and I have an article that says economists are proving that the economy is Trump's, not Obama's. Regulations are cut. If they shut the government down tomorrow, the coal mines will be open. If they shut the government down tomorrow, folks, Amazon will send you that package. If they shut the government down tomorrow, folks, there will be milk on the shelf at Ingles and Walmart. If they shut the government down. The economy is doing fine. It's moving along. People are going to start seeing as early as February more money in their check from the taxes. Military is going to start seeing a 2.4%, may not be the biggest, increase in their pay in February. Military pay does not stop in a government shutdown. People are getting the bonus checks that they were promised by corporations. I'm just telling you, shut it down. Now, the first thing that happens is the government shuts down non-essential. We always love that. They shut down non-essential government offices. And we always wonder and ask, if they were non-essential, maybe we should think this out. They will go and they will run rope around national monuments, okay? They will put a chain across some national park. But there's actual safeguards that the Social Security check goes out. Social Security check goes out. Your Medicare gets paid. The doctor doesn't say, oh, senior citizen, you can't come to the hospital. There's some safeguards for some certain things that go in as triggers to pay. Period. Shut the government down. The Democrats will get the blame. Some Republicans will share in the blame. And Donald J. Trump will get none of the blame. Now, the media will let you know that up in the Hamptons, the people that don't know what starburst are and those kind of things, they will be upset. They will blame the president. The president has a chance to shut it down and win. He has a chance to shut it down and win. And he's the first person. You know, Ted Cruz, you remember the Dr. Seuss? Okay? Ted Cruz could not shut it down and win. Nobody has successfully shut it down and come away with a win. Donald Trump will. Second, let me explain something on the tax break that I love, and maybe I can put it together before I get to my big story. The reason Connecticut, the reason New Jersey, the reason New York, the reason the left, California, is freaking out over the tax bill, the reason your child has called you from California and says, but Mom, I thought Donald Trump was going to be great with this tax plan was going to be great for me. This is why. Because I'm going to use a number, and people go and fact check me, but it's like $10,000, right? If you have up to over $10,000 in state tax, you cannot exempt that any longer. So the rich people in Connecticut, for all the people that say this tax plan is for the 1%, the rich. No, the rich people in Connecticut, the rich people in New York, the rich people in California can't exempt that. See, if you're working at Walmart today in Connecticut, so you're in Hartford, is it Hartford in Connecticut? So if you're in Hartford, Connecticut, and you work at Walmart and they're paying you $16 an hour because you're in Hartford, you're definitely not paying over $10,000 in state taxes a year because you work at Walmart. So you see, the president's tax plan didn't hurt you in Connecticut. It didn't hurt you in New Jersey. It didn't hurt you in California. Guess who it hurt? The rich people. Because they can't exempt. They can go up to 10 grand, and then after that, oh my God, they can't exempt it. See, they used to move that exemption over, and that's why Why do you think the rich people, you always say, why do the rich people continue to live in Connecticut, continue to live in New Jersey, these high-tax states? Because they would always move that state income tax or those state taxes, they would move those over, okay, to their federal, and they would deduct them. And that would help them pay less tax to live there. But now they're the ones getting hit. People, they don't want you to know that. They say it's hitting blue states. No, it's hitting rich people in blue states that no longer can shift their money over on the state tax side as an exemption on the federal tax. Hey, you're going to say there's so many things wrong with what I just said. The general statement of what I said is very accurate. That's why they're bent out of shape. Second thing that really gets me with these people is the estate tax. Oh, the rich people, the estate. Estate sounds big. It sounds fancy. It sounds like a lot of money. It sounds like, oh my God, those corporate evil people have estates. No, farmers. The American family farm. Why do you think they cheered for Donald J. Trump in Nashville last week? Because you have farmers out there that do not have big cash bank accounts. They don't. You have farmers out there that don't have the big brand new trucks, but they got $100,000 worth of equipment, a lot of equipment, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and millions of dollars in land. They may have 200 acres that they farm, big family farms, 200 acres, that's worth, $17 million or whatever. Guess what? When they pass away or die, actually that's what they do, the kids have to pay the tax on that. They pay the tax. They can't afford the tax, so they sell the family farm. Willie Nelson would be proud, okay? I'm just saying, those are some things that nobody clears up. Now, this is a new segment. I want to get into this for a reason. Stay with me on this. I got to put this all the way together, and I am going somewhere, and it's worth staying totally focused, okay? And I'll try to also. We know I have a problem staying focused myself. Let's go back to HQ2 headquarters, Amazon, and leave it up for a minute. Now, the Democrats want the South. Oh, they want the South bad. Bad, right? So Governor Deal, a.k.a. a Republican, who plays a Republican while in Atlanta, said that he will put together the most aggressive package to attract Amazon to Atlanta. All right? Going somewhere with this. All right? Seattle. Well, they're all drinking coffee out there this morning, smoking a bowl. They're at a head shop, coffee shop, drinking a latte. They got their umbrellas. Okay, because it rains in Seattle. Like, if you're on one side of town, it never stops raining. The other side of town, I don't know. Anyhow, okay? They're out there in Seattle. Let me tell you what they're doing in Seattle. They're wearing canvas sneakers with no strings in them that they paid $80 for, skinny jeans that the pockets don't line up with their ass, T-shirts, and a scarf. Let me tell you, you see that in a cup of coffee, you need to go on the other side of the street. You understand? That being said, they want to import them over to Georgia. That's where they went. They want to bring them to Georgia. Guess what? We imported the left from Hollywood. Well, you say, I'm going somewhere with this. You talked about this yet? No, we imported Hollywood. We brag about Georgia being the Hollywood of the South. We are now the movie capital. I mean, we just love to talk about and brag about all the shows produced in Georgia because we gave them the, don't let the liberals fool you. They love a good tax break, okay? They love a good tax break, all right? They're here. So we imported all these movie companies and production companies into Atlanta, and we gave them all kinds of tax deals and all kinds of tax breaks and so on and so forth, to where we imported into Georgia. I'm going somewhere, folks. You're gonna be with me. We imported into Georgia all the left people we could from Hollywood. Okay, just gonna bring them. Then we go up to Chris Christie. You remember? Chris Christie? Okay. That's the fat governor from New Jersey. Well, he was 2 weeks ago. He's heavy set. He's heavy set. I'm sorry. He's a big guy. He's portly, right? Shops at the big and short store like I do. Anyhow, so we go up there to Chris Christie, and what do? We take Mercedes-Benz from New Jersey. Take Mercedes-Benz, right? And we bring them down here. We put them right into Atlanta. From where? New Jersey. But what do we get sold in Georgia? We get sold high-paying jobs coming to Atlanta. And we make great tax deals for them. We make enormous deals and concessions. We give away, no pun intended, the family farm to get them down here. And it wasn't Caterpillar out in Illinois. Well, we bragged, we had ribbon cuttings, we wore hard hats, we get everything out. Our economic development teams in Georgia, right? And what do? We bring union jobs from Illinois and we transport them over to Georgia. The list goes on and on. Now, Amazon, and the governor of Georgia said this may be the biggest aggressive deal he ever makes in concessions. Folks, Amazon wants to put 50,000 jobs, okay, great, okay, and 50,000 jobs, a $5 billion investment into Atlanta that they call HQ2. Seattle is HQ1. Seattle. They want to bring them over to HQ2. Yeah. Atlanta. Wonder what those high-paying jobs and those people they bring in, wonder what if they will have Georgia values. Wonder if they'll have Georgia values. Like the people from Caterpillar, like the people from Mercedes. The list goes on, right? Wonder if they'll have Georgia values. It goes on and on and on. The people from Hollywood. You think the people from Hollywood came in here and had Georgia values? Okay? So, now, let me tell you where that's going. Because what's going to happen, here is what is about to happen. All right? Let me move forward to this. I'll bring it back in a second. So, put up our picture of, let's go with Democrat, National Democrat Redistricting Committee. Show me this really quick. Going to put this together. This is the National Democrat Redistricting Committee. Okay? They have a plan. You see, they have to take back the state houses, the governor's houses. The governor's, I think Republicans have 33 now. They have to, there's only 8. I think off the top of my head, there's only 8 states in the United States that the Republicans do not have total control, meaning representatives, Senate, and governor's mansion. Only 8 states that they do not. This is the National Democrat Redistricting Committee. Please take the time to do research on them today. Go for Organizing for America. This is Organizing for America. Okay? Action, action, action. Organizing for Action. Sorry. All right? Organizing for Action. Organizing for Action, they have come together and put the Obama holder picture up. They have come together, and if you can see in the silhouette in the background, OFA, Organizing for Action, which is the Obama campaign arm, and the NDRC, which is chaired by Eric Holder, former Secretary of State. Eric Holder, okay, or no, former Attorney General. They are together, all right? Now put up Eric Holder's quote. It says Eric Holder there. If you go to, I'm going somewhere with this. If you go to their website, you will find Eric Holder, his quote. The biggest rigged system in America is gerrymandering. Gerrymandering. Together we can change that and restore fairness to our democracy. Join our fight, because politicians shouldn't choose their votes. Voters should choose their representation. So this is on their website of their game plan of what they're doing, the big picture. The biggest rigged system in America is gerrymandering. So let me fast forward. Hold on, I might have a picture I want you to put up. Put up the headline there. I think it just says gerrymandering. Put that up, Sam. Okay. Now, I'm getting to it right now, folks. Stay with me, leave that up there. Now, here is something that, let me just read this first. Gerrymandering. All right. Gerrymandering is a practice. Listen to this. This is from Wikipedia. Gerrymandering is a practice intended to establish a political advantage for a particular party or group by manipulating district boundaries. You understand? The resulting district is known as gerrymandering. So it is the districts, the way they are drawn in your state. Your state draws districts, okay, to fit the population for representation. Okay, Eric Holder, and this goes back from the beginning of this country, that different states tried to draw districts in a different way to make sure they guaranteed elections to go a certain way. All right, just a little history there. So gerrymandering is not new, or the accusation of it. I'm going somewhere with this, folks. So Eric Holder and Obama, their mission is to work on getting states back through fighting gerrymandering through what? Liberal courts. This is where liberal courts come in. This is why you have to pay attention to what President Donald Trump has done, of how many conservative judges he has moved over and put in place. Okay? So, let's go. Keep that headline up there. Federal court. This is a story that's not headline. This is one of the biggest stories, because I'm getting ready to tell you something here, okay? Federal court voids North Carolina GOP drawn congressional map for partisan gerrymandering. Now, what happened in North Carolina? Let me read this first. A federal court on Tuesday, this is not today, last Tuesday, ruled that Republicans in North Carolina unconstitutionally gerrymandered congressional districts in 2016 to ensure Republican domination of state congressional delegation. The 3-judge panel struck down the map and ordered the state General Assembly, that's who does it, the General Assembly of your state. So you might say, well, why is it important? Okay? Why is it important? Because your state, not the federal government, your state, your General Assembly of your state writes the districting maps. Okay? That gets vetted through the courts. So what do they have to do? They have to get your states back. If they can get your states back, a senator at a time, a representative of a time, and that's coming. If they can do that, they can eventually get it to where your General Assembly may write different maps. Once, I'm going to tell you, the one time called red states, once they get those maps redrawn, it's over. I know over is so final. It's over, and that's what they want. And we're using North Carolina for a reason. Going to rewind for 20 years. North Carolina 20 years ago is a red state, unquestionable. Now, whether you like Jesse Helms or not, whether you like some of these guys or not from North Carolina, these far-right tobacco-smoking guys, okay? 20 years ago, North Carolina's a red state. I'm going to talk about that. Now, look what we have here. It's not a red state anymore. It's purple. It's blue. Look what happened to the governor's race. The former governor of North Carolina said, you know what? If your birth certificate says you are a male, you need to use the bathroom that is marked male. And his ass got voted out. Remember the bathroom bill in North Carolina? He got voted out. How could that happen in a state that was a red state, solid red, just 20 years ago, with North Carolina values? The people of North Carolina, good people, man. They like NASCAR. Well, these damn people, when I lived there 20 years ago, you get out on 40 and make you a nervous wreck because they all thought they needed to draft. I swear to God, you'd have all these Monte Carlos, get a Chevy or a Ford, you didn't have anything else. You have all these guys going down Interstate 40 outside of Winston-Salem thinking that it was Sunday and they were drafting. I mean, they run bumper to bumper. I'm not joking. But guess what? North Carolina values turned red. Stay with me here. A federal court ruled Tuesday Republicans in North Carolina unconstitutionally gerrymandered congressional districts, dominating the state's congressional. A three-panel judge struck down the map and ordered the state's General Assembly, now headed Democrat governor, to come up with a substitute by January 24th. Oh, interesting. The decision was first struck down of the congressional map as opposed to a state legislative map on the grounds that it was rigged in favor of political party. Redistricting has historically been political and partisan in one or the other, while courts have invalidated redistricting plans, including ones in North Carolina, as racially discriminatory. Judicial obligation to gerrymandering for positive gain is relatively new territory. See, it's judicial, liberal judges, obligation to gerrymandering for partisan gain is relatively new territory with legal standards unsettled by the United States Supreme Court. Folks, go back to Obama and his picture. Obama and Holder, I think the two. The National Democrat Redistricting Committee. You need to read this article in North Carolina. You need to pay attention. You need to remember North Carolina was red only 20 years ago. Now, let me and the OFA, Organizing for Action. Obama, Eric Holder, the left, Soros, the whole gang. Take back the states and get it to where you can have a North Carolina near you soon in Georgia. Now, every year they want to talk about Georgia being a purple state. Here's where I'm going to go and I'm going to take a break. North Carolina, do you remember the Research Triangle? Kerry, right? What was the acronym for Kerry? Now, this is not that I don't like Yankees, damn it. I'm not interested in that, okay? But what is the acronym for Kerry, North Carolina? It's actually Kerry, North Carolina, but what do they call the acronym? Carolina Area to Relocate Yankees, right? Bottom line, that's what they call it up there. The Research Triangle, remember the big deal back in the late 80s, early 90s. Why this was the highest paying. Silicon Valley, they left out there. They came, Silicon Valley went full force into North Carolina. While these high-tech, high-paying jobs moved into North Carolina, they blew up in Raleigh. They blew up in Cary, which is outside of Raleigh, in Durham. They blew up the liberal colleges of UNC and Duke were producing these students with such liberal views that Silicon Valley was able to come out here and create the Research Triangle. Okay? All right, out there, thousands and thousands, and then it was mushroomed out to then you've got all of the businesses that went into Charlotte, and the list goes on 20 years ago. And the next thing you know, rural North Carolina voters could not overpower Charlotte and Raleigh and Durham, could not overpower these meccas of liberal voters that they pumped in. Democrat liberal voters that were pumped into the system. And now you have Republicans in North Carolina saying, we need to just look at how we can get better candidates. We need to look how we can reach the voters. No, folks. It's a game plan. Republicans win that day. They have to win that day. Democrats win over time. They've been doing this for years. Oh my God, they've been doing this for years. Now, Atlanta, Georgia, you are really close. That in Georgia, your rural voting base, your Georgia values will no way whatsoever overpower what Nathan Deal has imported into Georgia in the sprawling liberal vote that we now have. That you will think, you know what, I'm not from here. Got to come clear, I'm not from here, right? I have been in Georgia since the late in 1999, okay? Late in 1999. So that way, now that's out there, right? But I will tell you this. Why does everybody keep coming into Georgia? Thank you for all the jobs we keep hearing about. Why does everybody keep coming into Georgia and the backs of rural Georgia have to pay the bills for them to come by always hearing we have to pay more for transportation? Remember the largest tax increase? More for transportation, you're going to hear it again. We are importing. The article I'm reading you about gerrymandering, you better pay attention because they're pulling apart North Carolina. Georgia is next. There's states, one right after another, that are next. Georgia is a blue state in the making. That's my opinion. Let's hope I was able to put some of that together, but you better pay attention. Better pay attention. They came into North Carolina. They did not share North Carolina values, okay? I don't know if the people coming from Seattle, if we get the HQ2 deal with 50,000 jobs, I don't know if they're going to share the Georgia values. And I just don't know how much we deplete Georgia values to where Georgia is no longer a red state. I'm your host, BKP. I'm going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something. This could be love because I've had the time of my life. I've never felt like this before, 'cause I've had the time of my
The Tupelo Tea Mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Better days ahead.
'Tis the season of huge year-end discounts at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Every 2017 and 2018 Chevy is discounted deep right now. Like $5,000 off Equinox LT from $26,750, or a whopping $10,000 off new Silverado Crew Cabs from $33,695. Unwrap huge holiday savings on every Chevy at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we make the holidays bright.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Kenty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Fine sterling silver, luxurious baby alpaca and exotic woods. A beautiful selection of exquisitely crafted gifts for all of your special occasions. Visit our website, artesiansilvergifts.com, or follow us on Twitter at Artesian Silver Gifts. Kenty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop in downtown Blue Ridge.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, I told you to stay put here because we're going to end the show. I have been asked from the command center over there, just so you don't, if you don't know the studio, Sam and Rose have their own little world. In fact, we should do that. We should get a graphic for their world. But they have their own little world, and I've been asked from their area to do something at the end of the show that I'm not aware is going to happen. And as you might know out there in the audience, I am a very good sport, and so I'm gonna go with that. So you're gonna want to stay put. Sam, do me a favor. Put up Philip D. Murphy's picture. Philip D. Murphy. Pull that up for a minute, okay? Just want to give you this. The incoming New Jersey governor plans to swing to the left. Play on words, right? From the Washington Post. He plans to swing to the left and a model for the country, okay? This is the New Jersey 56th governor, Phil Murphy. Had Hollywood on his mind, all right? He wants to, let me put it like this. Let me see where he wanted to do. Tuesday, when he was sworn in, New Jersey will become the one, listen to this, one of just 8 states. I did get that right. Okay. New Jersey will become one of just 8 states where Democrats run every branch of government. Okay? All right? If Murphy has his way, New Jersey will become a proving ground for every liberal policy ideal coming into fashion. From legalized marijuana to $15 minimum wage, from a millionaire's tax to a virtual Bill of Rights for undocumented immigrants. Now, let's stay here. This is not, I mean, they're going to talk to you this morning on all the other networks and all the other stations about what kind of starburst the President of the United States likes, pink and red. They're going to talk to you about Kevin McCarthy actually giving the president a starburst. We're digging in here, okay? Now, New Jersey, let's say Illinois cannot pass a budget, cannot pay they cannot pay their bloated retirement funds, pension plans. They can't. New Jersey's pension plan is in a mess. Connecticut, it's a mess, folks. New Jersey is a disaster area. So the governor, okay, sworn in Tuesday, Murphy has his way. New Jersey will become a proving ground for every liberal policy ideal into fashion. He wants to legalize marijuana, $15 an hour minimum wage, a millionaire's tax, and a virtual Bill of Rights. A Bill of Rights for undocumented immigrants. That's what this guy wants to do. All right? Just want to put it out there. Because the one thing I think nobody talks about in 2018 is what we may have to bail out or the states that are going to collapse under these liberal policies, Jersey being one. Now, put up our gang member again one more time. So we talk about, and I wanted to do this story for a reason, because I call it, I'm broadcasting from an undisclosed location in LJ, Georgia, right? Well, God, we're hard to find, right? And we are in rural America. We are in the it could never happen here zone, right? It can't happen here. That's where we live. And when it does happen and it hits home, we have to ask, wait a minute. Now, we, for one, in LJ, do not care if you're working at the chicken plant. We don't care who you are. If you're living up here, we don't care. But a violent gang member, this is on FetcherNews.com. Fannin County, you can go and read the entire story. Violent gang member apprehended in Fannin County. A police chase ended with the detainment of a suspect involved. The Fannin County Sheriff's Office made an arrest after becoming involved in a chase shortly after midnight on Wednesday, January 10th. Fannin Sheriff's Deputy Jarrett Wood noticed a green Nissan Pathfinder south on Georgia 2 with a brake light out. Now, why did he have a brake light out, okay? No, I'm serious. You have a brake light out, but I'm telling you, you need to follow this. And failed to maintain his lane. Initially, Pathfinder pulled over and coming to a stop when Wood signaled to the driver to do so. After pulling over, the vehicle sped off in a chase. Now, Blue Ridge City Police were made aware. They joined in. Everybody joined in. The driver identified is Armando Ramirez. Okay? Now, Ramirez, I want to get into him a little bit. The entire story you can read on FetcherNews.com, Fannin County. Ramirez, 25, of Beaufort, Georgia, was arrested and charged with multiple traffic misdemeanors. These misdemeanors include reckless driving, driving on the wrong side of the road, failure to stop, failure to obey traffic devices or police, failure to wear a seatbelt. Wow, he doesn't sound like a bad guy. Along with the traffic misdemeanors, Ramirez is being charged with driving on suspended or revoked license. Ramirez, who has a criminal history throughout the state of Georgia, was detained for similar charges in Beaufort. He currently has an outstanding criminal warrant in Hall County. He was detained for similar charges, folks. Now, this is my belief. This is my opinion. I think he was a decoy. Because you got to understand, this guy has been detained for this in other areas. So I think he runs decoy. I think he lures in police officers or law enforcement. And I am not for sure something really didn't happen in Fannin County other than this guy eluding the police. See, it wasn't high speed. When he pulled over and pulled back out, it's not like he took off 80, 90 mile an hour really trying to get away. He was going 55. I think he's a decoy. Now, if you go to our story, you will see a list of distinctive markings from Ramirez's booking sheet. We put his booking sheet up. He has the distinctive markings. Okay? We put all of them up. You can read them yourself. As indicated by tattoos covering his body, Ramirez also has confirmed ties to a violent street and prison gang, the Barrio Aztecas. It's in the story, okay? Read this. The Barrio Aztecas, and we've got it, formed in the late 1980s in El Paso, Texas, and grew quickly to become an international crime group with strong ties to the Juarez cartel in Mexico, known for drug trafficking. The Aztecas are considered one of the most dangerous gangs in America. All right? Fannin County Sheriff Deputy Dane Kirby was unable to comment on the detainee's affiliation. Sources from the Appalachian Drug Task Force spoke to Fetcher News about the gang-related activity in North Georgia and said to this, they told us, North Georgia, I cannot confirm, the source said, speaking about the Aztecas' affiliation in our area. Atlanta, yes, there's a bit of every gang in Atlanta. All right? The source did confirm that there are known drug trafficking to the cartel activity. There is. Now this came from the North Georgia or the Appalachian Drug Task Force. They confirmed, the source did confirm that there is known drug trafficking related to cartel activity in North Georgia. Known drug trafficking related to cartel activity in North Georgia, and added about why Ramirez might have been in Fannin County. If he does not live there, I would say it's likely that he was passing through for a specific reason. Now that's the quote that we got from the Appalachian Drug Task Force, for a specific reason. He was passing through, in my opinion, BKP, as a decoy. That's my opinion. He has the markings. I am being told by sources that you cannot be in this gang. The initiation is that you murdered somebody. I'm serious. I'm just telling you. So from the Appalachian Drug Task Force, I think what I would like for you to do is help us here in any way you can. I don't want you to racially profile, but if you see something, say something in North Georgia if you feel you're seeing gang members. Okay? Because we have a confirmation from the Appalachian Drug Task Force that there is cartel drug trafficking in North Georgia. There is. It's happening. And if this guy doesn't live up here, because he doesn't, he has similar charges in Beaufort. I think he's a decoy. Then he was here for a specific reason. Specific reason. Okay? Just saying. Call your local law enforcement today and say, are these... Now, one of our viewers sent us a message and said they saw this guy in LJ. Came from a viewer. Just saying. Okay? Just saying. I think you should watch out for that. Now, let's switch that. Let's take him down. Last night, we are starting to see the political posturing. Just want to let you know, I want to give a shout out to White County. I don't have my notes, okay? But I want to give a shout out to White County GOP. Lisa and I went over to Cleveland, Georgia last night. I didn't get home till 9 o'clock last night, and I really needed a nap yesterday, and I'm going to need one today. And oh, what the hell? And excuse me, I'm trying not to. I didn't say SHIT once today. I didn't say it one time. Not like CNN, 138 times. So we go over there last night. Shout out to the White County GOP. I got to get the date. I'll give it to you tomorrow. Nothing earth-shattering. I'll give it to you tomorrow. I got to get the date. There will be a GOP primary governor debate over there in March that they announced, and I will be going to that. So we'll talk about that. State Senator Josh McCoon was there last night. We talked about the adoption bill. This is my 2-minute adoption bill, Georgia adoption bill. Let me explain what happened, okay? Last year in the state of Georgia, first of all, you need to know the Georgia adoption system has not been modernized for over 30 years. No modernization for over 30 years. So what happened last year is the Georgia House of Representatives passed unanimously what they call a clean bill. To modernize, got to remember, modernize adoption rules and laws in Georgia. Now, what that meant is a clean bill for them was that it would not, their words, discriminate. So if a private organization, much like Catholic Charities, and two guys walked in. I mean, I don't know why I go around this subject. Two guys walked in and said they wanted to adopt, and they both fit financially and whatever, all the requirements you have to fill out. The Catholic charity could not refuse them an adoption. Okay, there was that. So it went to the Senate. This is last year, Georgia State Senate. A committee went in and said, hey, we want protections for private adoption agencies, that they can say, not discriminate. I hate the word when it gets framed wrong, but you could walk in to a Catholic adoption agency and say, I would like to adopt John and Jim, okay, I'd like to adopt a baby, and they would say to you, here is a list of agencies that will be glad to help you. But they did not have to. So it did not get out of the committee. The committee did not get it out and get it back on the floor for a vote, so the adoption bill did not pass last year. So I'll hurry up with this. This year, there's another adoption bill, basically the same one, on the floor, what they call a clean bill. It has gone to the committee, the Senate. The Senate plans to pass it as it is, send it back to the House, and it looks like what is being called a clean adoption bill is going to head to Governor Deal's desk without what I call the protections of private adoption agencies, with religious, that hold religious views as what they call traditional. I'm not interested in getting around whether all this stuff today. But that being said, that would modernize. So that is big, to modernize the adoption rules. Now I understand this week a standalone bill is being introduced to give those said protections to private adoption agencies with political beliefs that they want to protect. So that's out there. Hope I didn't mess that up. Post 2, trying to kill time because I know what's getting ready to happen here. I don't know what's getting ready to happen. I'm getting ready to give Sam the floor, and I got to give her the floor long enough to where whatever happens, I can comment on. So Post 2, commissioner in Fannin County is up for election. And I love the political posturing, okay? Because what's happening now, you need to go to your GOP, you need to go to your city meetings, you need to go to your water authority, you need to go to your county commissioner meetings, because what's happening now, it's that time of year because the May primaries coming up, is people come in and sit in the meeting and they're political posturing. You see who comes to the meeting that might be thinking about running for office. You see who comes into the meeting that normally is not there, so you wonder why are they there. That's right now in your local rural areas to start seeing who's running for office. Now, post 2, Fannin County Chairman, Commission Chair is not up for election, and that's held by Stan Helton. And Fannin County Commission Chair is not up for re-election, held by Stan Helton. And Fannin County Commission Post 1 is not up for re-election. That's held by Earl Johnson. But Fannin County Post 2 Commission is up for re-election, and we have that is currently being held by Larry Joe Sosby. Sources are there'll be several oppose him for this, and we have one last night. Natalie attended the Fannin County Board of Fannin County Republican meeting. Can you put the picture up of Glenn Peterson? Glenn Peterson is a candidate. He has officially announced at the Fannin County, and there's a full article. If you go to fetchyournews.com, Fannin County, you will see the article by Natalie Kissel. Glenn Peterson announces candidacy for Post 2 Commission seat in Fannin County. He is a educator for 33 years. And has spent approximately 23 years of his life as a teacher, and he's a Fannin County resident from there. He is the first public announcement for Post 2 in Fannin County. All right, so that being said, Sam, I guess the only thing I know to say, don't hurt me too bad now. I'm telling you.
Are you ready?
You know I'm sensitive.
Oh, are you sensitive?
Yes, you know I'm sensitive,
all right,
so don't hurt me too bad. What do you got? I'm waiting. Really? Really? So I get knocked down. Get that damn picture off the screen. I get knocked down. I get up again. So you are highlighting the crime against me that Rose, you are actually showing the evidence of Rose knocking me out of a chair.
Wait a minute. Let me talk. I just wanted to prove that Rose was not behind the camera. Sam was behind the camera.
Okay. Well,
I documented it all.
I think this is like when Tanya Harding kneecapped, what's her name? Nancy Kerrigan. And then Jeff Gillooly was there. That's what I think. I think she knocked me out of the chair and you took the pictures. Folks, there you go. You see, it's not just 2 hours a day. I'm telling you right now, it's not just 2 hours a day. Yesterday we're in a meeting. Next thing I know, I'm laid out on the floor and they're taking pictures. And it's on the World Wide Web. I get knocked down. I do like that. You're right, though, Sam. I like that. I get knocked down, but I get up again. I get knocked down, but I get up again.
At least I put a positive spin on the end of it, right?
Huh?
At least I put a positive spin on it. You're getting back up.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyhow, Brandon and Spanky. All right, I got 7 minutes. Let me tell you this story, okay? So Brandon and Spanky. So Brandon runs the yard. We have, at this time, we're up in Greensboro, North Carolina. All right, I'm the manager. Brandon is the yard. He's my yard manager. What that means is we got a big building materials warehouse, and we have like 18 pieces of equipment. We got 2 tractors and trailers. We got 3. I mean, this was a big place, right? And Brandon had a flow of traffic. All right. Every time I hear this song, I got to tell you, he had a flow of traffic. The tractor trailers had to come in the north side of the yard. They had to come around and circle. The cranes had to come in the next chute for reloading. And the small trucks, the flatbeds and the box trucks had to come in another chute. When they came in, Brandon went out and had parking spaces for reload to maximize getting these trucks back out as fast as we can for the second load of the day. So we got Spanky. That's easy. Okay. So Spanky says, I might have time for 2 stories. Okay. So Spanky is always parking his crane. One of my best crane truck drivers. I mean, awesome guy. But he's like 4'6". Both ways. He's 4'6". I mean, he is. He's this big. He's 4'6". Great guy. Blonde-haired guy, Spanky. So Spanky's always wanting to park his crane anywhere the hell he wants to. And I'm in my office one day, and Brandon keeps telling him. Now, Brandon's a serious dude. He don't play no game. Brandon just got out of the Marines. All right? Brandon keeps telling him he's parking his crane in the wrong spot. And he better not do it again. So, one day after day of them coming to my office, all right? One day after them coming to my office, every day complaining. This guy, I'm sitting in my office, and all of a sudden, this guy comes to the door, and he's got blonde hair. He's 4'10" tall, 4'10" wide, and he's holding his hand over his eye. And I'm in there, and I'm busy, and I said, "What's wrong with you?" "Brandon hit me." "What the hell? I'm trying to work. What do you mean, Brandon punched me?" I'm like, "Oh, come on, man." So I go outside, and Brandon's there. I said, "Brandon, what happened?" He said, "I punched him in his head." I said, No, you don't. You can't do that. He said, "Look where he's parked." So anyhow, I said, "All right, anybody see this?" So what happens is Spanky parks, gets out, says a couple words that probably, Donald Trump wouldn't even use. And he says a couple words. Brandon says, "I told you not to park there," right? "How many times I tell you not to park your crane there?" And Spanky says, "I don't care." He starts waddling in, all right? He starts waddling in, and Brandon just walked up and clocked him right in the eye and knocked him, actually, he got close, knocked him under the truck. So my dispatcher, a.k.a. Pee-wee, that's a true story. Everybody had a name, all right? So Pee-wee comes in. He's got it. He says, "Hey," I said, "What happened?" He said, "I had to get Spanky back out from under the truck. We had to go under there and get him off the ground and pick him up." So I'm hearing this whole story. I'm like, what the hell? Because I have the greatest yard manager. Brandon's like the greatest yard manager, but I can't let him punch Spanky in the eye, right? So I call Raleigh, the corporate office. All right? I call Raleigh, the corporate office. I talk to the head guy over there, and I say, "Look, here's my situation. But I don't want to lose these guys. But do I have to fire Brandon because he just punched Spanky in the head?" And they're like, "I guess if you could put both of them in a room and Brandon will apologize and Spanky will say, okay, I guess you don't." So I bring them both in. Spanky's, holding his eye, sitting in one chair. Brandon's sitting over there. He got a couple muscle tattoos. He got the muscles to wear the tattoos. He just got out of the Marines. He's a good guy. I like Brandon. You got to apologize to Spanky. Hell no, I ain't apologizing to him. "Spanky, I got to ask you, do you want Brandon fired?" "No, I don't want him fired, but he needs to apologize." I said, "Brandon, if he says you got to be fired, I don't think I have a choice. I got to fire you. Apologize." "I'm sorry, man. Will you park your crane in the right place?" "Yeah, I'll park it in the right place." So they leave, all right? They leave. They go back out. So the point is, every time after that, Pee-wee, right? Every time Spanky would come and dispatch, he would have it queued up, and he would play, "I get knocked down, but I get up again." Sorry, folks. But I'll never forget that story. I got 2 minutes. I want to tell you this story. I want to leave with this story. So Spanky, right? So we're having a sales meeting. I got like 6 salespeople, 2 office people, and Raleigh just sent down really nice shirts for everybody. Everybody's got really nice shirts. This is a true story, okay? You might not like it, might be offensive. You might want to turn the show off now, but if you're in for a good story, stay with it, okay? So anyhow, it's like 6 o'clock at night, and we're having our monthly office meeting, and I got chairs all around, and we're talking about sales, and we're talking about dispatch, and we're talking about the yard, and we're talking about invoicing. So I got like 4 ladies in the room, and I got 6 guys, and we got going on, and Raleigh sends down really fancy shirts. So I get the shirts out and I give them to all of the people, but Raleigh sends a note. They're only for the office and sales staff. That's it, for the office and sales staff. So the next thing I know, Spanky's at the door, okay? He's 4 foot tall. He's 4 foot wide. He's a great guy. This is an awesome guy. One of my best drivers. All right, a chubby little guy. Let's put it at that. Okay. So Spanky's at the door and he says, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" I said, "We're having our office meeting." Well, he just got in and he strolls down the hall, and he said, "Everybody get new shirts, okay?" And everybody get new shirts. And I said, "Yeah, Spanky, but they're only for the sales department and the office staff," and that's what Raleigh said. And he's standing there, and I got the box here, right? This is exactly what happens. So he's standing there, and he looks, and this is his quote. He said, "You know, I bet if I was blonde with big boobs, I'd get a shirt." That's what he said. So what did I do? I turned in a box. I filtered down through there, found me a 1X. I got it out. I mean, I didn't say a word. I got it out, and I threw it across the room. He said, "Why am I getting a shirt?" I said, "Because you're blonde with big boobs." That's the end of the show. We'll be back tomorrow.